Now, an ambitious development aiming to put the seaside community of Brighton and Hove back on the Jewish map and revitalise the Jewish community is nearing completion. The site in New Church Road in Hove will have 45 new homes, co-working facilities, a nursery, cafe and bakery, and even a new synagogue. Well, ahead of the community launch next month, I'm joined by one of the trustees, Natasha Isaac. Good morning.
Good morning, Emily.
Great to have you on the programme this morning. So a lot of new developments have co-working facilities and cafes, but not many can boast a new synagogue as well alongside this on the site. Why is there a need for this kind of development?
Well, this kind of development is going to be pretty unique in not only Hove, but probably the surrounding area. We've built it to support both Jewish life in our city and everyone in our local community. There's a need for making Jewish life easier in Hove, and we're really excited that we're going to be making this offering for our local Jewish community.
Why is there a need? Why is there a need to make Jewish life easier?
Well, Jewish life in Brighton goes back quite a long way. We've got over 250 years of Jews in Brighton. But recently, over the last decade, our community has declined relatively significantly. Things like Jewish butchers and bakeries don't exist here anymore, sadly. So there was quite an urgent need, we felt, to recapture the vibrancy of our community before it's too late. So we're aiming to provide all sorts of facilities to help put Brighton back on the Jewish map, as you've described.
Why has there been that decline locally then? Why aren't these industries I'm really interested in the kosher bakery that's coming and the cafe, but why are you bringing these things back? Why have they disappeared from our streets in Brighton and Hove?
I wouldn't say there's one reason in particular. Often we've seen around the country Jewish communities moving to more centralised places like London and Manchester. But Brighton is, I believe, the next biggest community outside of those places. And we're hoping to sort of stem the tide of people and draw in people from those communities to live in Brighton, because it's such a fantastic place to be.
So a lot of people potentially looking in London now might think, oh, Brighton and Hove, yes, I quite fancy that. I mean, there's a well-trodden path, isn't there, heading down to the coast for people, particularly young families. Is that who you're trying to attract?
Absolutely. We are really excited that already younger Jewish people are moving to Brighton and Hove. And we're providing, as you said, a Jewish nursery. So we're very hopeful that will soon be full of lots of young Jewish families.
Like other faiths, the Jewish community is made up of different congregations and denominations across Sussex and in Brighton and Hove. How will you be supporting all of those communities?
Yeah, that's a really good question. There's a very diverse Jewish community in Brighton and Hove itself already. We're really lucky to be partnered with Brighton and Hove Hebrew Congregation, whose site will be remaining on our site as well. They are an Orthodox community, but we are a Jewish community hub. So aside from the synagogue on site, we are excited to work with all of the progressive, liberal and other communities in the area, whilst maintaining our really strong partners, Brighton and Hove Hebrew Congregation.
And what about the non-Jewish population? What benefits do they get in the local area from this development?
Well, there's lots for everyone on this site. We're open to everybody. Anyone can come along and enjoy our facilities. We are between Hove Museum and St Christopher's Primary School. So we're really hopeful that people who are visiting other places in the local area will enjoy our cafe and our restaurant, our co-working space, and some of the programming. And we're really hopeful that people will get to interact with Jewish culture and Jewish food, Jewish life in general, where they might not have had an opportunity to do that before.
I introduced you, Natasha, as one of the trustees. Why did you decide to get involved in this project?
I just am really keen to ensure that there's a really vibrant Jewish life in Hove. It's, you could say, partially a selfish reason. I've moved here with my husband, and we're really keen that there's a lovely place for us to bring up a family here. But it's so important to me that Jewish life is seen as something which is exciting and brings positives to the community as a whole. And I think that this project will do that.
The development's really starting to take shape. So a number of homes being built, that the synagogue is a slightly different location, a new synagogue there, nursery. What else is going to be there?
So we are, as you said, we're building new homes. There's going to be a beautiful green space for people to enjoy as well, which we've seen is important for COVID times as well. There'll be, as we've mentioned, a cafe and a restaurant, a co-working space in the building. There will be a nursery and many different spaces for the community to enjoy.
And how can people find out more?
Well, we are across all social media. We are on Twitter at BNJC Brighton. Our website is bnjc.co.uk. People can email us. We'd love people to get in touch and come to some of our events which are coming up. We've got a walking tour of Jewish Brighton on the 20th of Feb.
Sounds great. Natasha Isaac, one of the trustees behind this new project. I mean, it's literally watch this space in New Church Road as it develops and grows. Thank you ever so much for joining me this morning. And you can find out more at bnjc.co.uk.